Here we go then. Welcome along to another edition of the United View. I'm Ben at Ben Speech on Twitter, also running the at the Reds United account, which you may all know. We are the United View. We're a fan-based YouTube channel which literally airs your views, and we get some great panelists on to also air their own views on what's going on all things United. We've done quite a few games recently, and we've also done the Deadline Day special, which was amazing. And we're joined today by a guy who's not shy of letting his views heard. We've learned that already. Shaun, welcome along.
Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Thank you for coming back on with us. Are you ready for your rant?
Yeah, I've been waiting since Sunday for this.
Sorry we're a little bit late, by the way. I've recently been on holiday, which has basically messed all our schedules up. So, Shaun, Leicester City. We went there quietly confident, I think. Our attack was all but ready. We went out. What happens next?
Well, brilliant first half, really. We couldn't really ask for more. Di Maria's goal, absolutely sublime. Fantastic. Second half, we just got... It's easy to jump on the referee bandwagon. He did change the game by giving that penalty. But then once they scored that penalty, we just... we should have put up more of a fight than what we actually did. But yeah, I was angry with the penalty because it wasn't. There was a foul in the build-up. I've seen several people saying that Raphael was looking for the contact and went down. Well, if he was looking for contact, then so was Vardy, and went down.
Yeah.
So is it how it's not the same thing? I've no idea. But yeah, that decision definitely changed the game. Leicester had their tails up. The crowd had their tails up. Our away support is absolutely phenomenal all the time.
Okay.
But even that took a hit. And Leicester were on top. They just went for it, and well, fair play to them for winning. Don't get me wrong. I'm taking anything away from them, but the referee had a massive part to play in it.
Well, let's come back and talk about the decision in a minute, shall we? At the United View, guys, if you're watching, you can tweet us, get involved in the debates. We need your views, we want your views to be heard, or just comment in the box to the side here. Regular United fans come on and they all chat in the YouTube comments box, so feel free to all chat amongst yourselves. We'll come to your views as well. Shaun, we'll come back to the decision in a moment because I'm sure a lot of United fans will want to have their word on it. Let's chat about the first two goals, shall we? So Falcao gets the ball out wide, and straight away, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking, I want him in the box. I'm thinking, why has he got the ball out wide? I want him in the box. But what a ball, to Robin, who I think was really lucky with that header. I think he was going miles wide, and I think he had a howler that game. He missed a few opportunities. But Falcao, did he show his class?
Yeah, and there's obviously an awful lot more to come. We weren't expecting him to put a ball in from out wide like that. He makes Ashley Young look like a little boy with his crossing.
And he's a striker.
Yeah, as you say, I think Robin was lucky with the header. Thank God he's managed to get a goal, first goal of the season. But yeah, his performances so far this season and Sunday have been well below par.
Yeah, we've got to agree. But one guy's whose performances haven't been well below par, Angel Di Maria. Talk me through when he receives the ball from Wazza, by the way, which is a nice little ball through to him. He dinks it. Can you see a better goal this season than that? I mean, what a goal!
I just watched in amazement as it went in. To be quite honest, it almost looked as if he tripped over the ball. I'm still not actually sure what he actually did with the ball with his feet, because it's just mesmerising every time I see it. And the little dink over, Kasper Schmeichel just sort of looked at it and went, "Wow." His reaction as it went over his shoulder just said it all about the goal. And they're already claiming that it could be goal of the season, 5 games in. So and then Falcao had that chance as well where he hit the bar, very similar. That would have been an absolutely phenomenal goal as well had that gone in, and would have. I think we were 3-1 up then. So
yeah, No, I think it was 2-1, wasn't it? It's just before the third goal, which was nicely finished by Ander Herrera, a guy I think we await. I think he needs to hit the gym. I think he needs to bulk up a bit. But other than that, he's got the aggression, he's got the passing range, he's got the skill, he's got the tactical awareness. I mean, there's no reason why I can't be United great, Sean.
Yeah, no, another player that's come in, maybe slightly under the, I want to say under the radar. Obviously, we've been linked with him for a while, but he's another player that not necessarily everybody knew a lot about. And so far he's done really well. Chipped in with 2 goals. That on Sunday, that cheeky little flick. Well, you can't get much cheekier than that, really.
You can't, can you? Now, I did put on Twitter, I believe, let's get the time for this, 2:35 I put this up. So this would have been 5 minutes into the second half. I put on the United View. By the way, again, feel free to ditch in with your comments as we talk. We'll probably talk more about this, but Tyler Blackett, what a young man he is. Absolute quality. Forget about the red card. For the first 60 minutes, I thought he showed composure in our team like Johnny Evans didn't. What did you make of our back two before Smalling had to come on? Or what did you make of Tyler Blackett overall?
I really like Tyler Blackett. I've watched him for quite a bit. I watched him last season while he was out on loan. And I actually looking at our back four on Sunday, up in first 60 minutes, he looked like he was the senior man in there. Yeah, he's played. That was his 5th Premier League game.
Yeah.
I think it's a huge vote of confidence that he's one of 4 players that have played every game, and now he's going to have to sit out. I think it's only a 1-match ban, but he's going to have to get his confidence back up now to get back in there. But yeah, Tyler Blackett, I really like him. I think he's definitely one for the future.
And now let's go on to the Leicester changeover. As you said about the goal and about the penalty, I think for one, it wasn't a penalty. I don't actually think Raphael touched him. And 2, I think that was a blatant shove on Raphael as well to start off with. Other than that, we can't have any complaints, can we, about the third and I think it was the 4th goal. I mean, 2 nicely engineered goals. And I think we just fell to pieces, didn't we, in terms of our midfield? Didn't stay stable, and neither did our defence. I mean, but even the first goal, I thought the ball was out of play. We didn't get the rough of the green.
Well, Richie Delat should possibly have seen a red card as well, and he run riot over us in the second half. He'd already been booked for a stupid foul first half, and then he just barged Di Maria out of the pitch, resulting in Di Maria having some bandaging put on his arm. His socks were all ripped, so probably down to the concrete, but he was barged off of the pitch. If that isn't a foul, it was very similar to what happened to Raphael, which obviously wasn't given as a foul either. But yeah, Richie Delat should have been off in the first half. So we didn't get the rub of the green Sunday, but we never seemed to when Clattenburg's with us.
I mean, there was that the last season Fergie was in charge. There was that banner, wasn't there, at Old Trafford? I think that has to be reintroduced this weekend just for irony. I think it was like leader, legend, Clattenburg or something. I mean, it's just unbelievable refereeing the whole way through the game. Even I can even stand up and say that corner he gave to United is just a scuffed Di Maria shot. How he saw that as a corner, even just awful officiating, just awful.
Anyway. All of them were poor, but like you said, with their first goal, the ball was out of the pitch. It had gone across the line. There was a view that showed the linesman could clearly see it had gone out. Yeah, he managed to wrap his foot around it, cross it. Fair enough, it was a brilliant header. De Gea was absolutely stranded. But the point is, it was out of the pitch. Now, I'm sure that if there were fans from other clubs watching us right now, they'd be saying, just a bit of Manx.
Yeah.
But the fact is, if it happened against them, they would be saying exactly the same thing.
No, I've got to agree. And hello to Heartedge, Swaggart, and Soccerbox, who have strong words, I think, for Mark Clattenburg this evening. Soccerboxer says, totally agree, but in my match review, the referee's decision was diabolical, and although United shouldn't have dropped their head, they did. Clattenburg did he did ruin the game. I couldn't get that word out. It's too long for this time of the evening. Inexplicably. It's too many eyes in there. I don't like it. and I do radio. Can you believe it? Scott says Clattenburg is. Then you can really feel that in there. Congratulations, Middlesbrough. I've just scored against Liverpool as well, 1-0. And a massive, by the way, a massive Viva Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo pitching it off. I think he might have just got another one, Sean.
Really?
I read somewhere someone saying that Ronaldo must be a robot suddenly, and everyone, those people on Twitter saying Ronaldo. But he's definitely got 4 anyway for Madrid this evening, and we're going to get him back next summer as well. Right, looking at the team and looking at the way we played, Shaun, Louis van Gaal. Do you think he could have done anything differently in that game? Because personally, I'm looking back at when we're 3-1 up, even just before the penalty, and Jan was ready to come on. Should Fletcher have been introduced? Should Shaw have been introduced? What would you have done?
Well, if we go back to the first half when Smalling went off, there was arguments that Rojo should have moved into centre-back, Shaw into left-back. I disagree. Centre-back for centre-back, Smalling came on. I completely agree with that. Rojo had an absolute shocker of a game, especially the second half. I think with hindsight, then yes, you probably should have put Shaw on. But obviously, at that point in time, Rojo was doing okay. Second half, Januzaj coming on for, I can't even remember who now. It was so annoyed. That's the one. I can understand Falcao going off, not quite match fit, still trying to ease him in. But Januzaj, I don't know. With Van Persie and Rooney still on the pitch, we didn't need another attacking person. Had we have brought Fletcher on, that would have shored us up at the back. Would we then, as fans, said, why the hell has he brought that on as a bit negative? Because that's the sort of thing Moyes would have done last season. But 3-1 up, we didn't need to keep going for the win. Januzaj, did he actually? Well, I think he had 2 or 3 touches. He didn't have an awful lot more. Then Di Maria going off, I just do not understand that at all. Apparently, there's still some fitness issues. I didn't see anything. I know there's last couple of games he's gone off with what looked like cramp. So perhaps he was sort of coming up to a cramping sort of stage. Perhaps he could feel it, let him know. But the substitution just seemed really strange.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit odd. I mean, you're away from home in the Premier League. I think, to be honest, Van Gaal's learning just as much as the other foreign players. To be honest, I think Rojo did play well. It's like saying the game was really 60 minutes long for United. Then suddenly, the last 30, we just weren't there. We just were not there. And I think the only person who kept their position in the last 30 was Daley Blind. I saw him. He was always there. He was always in front of that defence. But Herrera was nowhere to be seen. No one else was anywhere to be seen. So,
can I just jump in? Daley Blind, absolutely fantastic. He just goes about his job, quiet as a mouse, gets it done. Doesn't get nearly enough plaudits, in my opinion.
He's great, isn't he?
But I always find this with these players, sort of more defensive players, they don't necessarily get the recognition that they deserve, or that a player like Di Maria will get because he's running the show. Yeah, really, it's the man at the back there that's seeing these passes and passing it out, keeping it all together in the middle, that do the hard work. And yet Di Maria gets all the plaudits because he's the one creating and scoring goals.
Yeah. No, to be fair, that is true as well. To be honest, there's so many different debates by it, isn't there? I mean, even I think Herrera's quietly underrated as well, personally, and I think De Gea's been getting a bit of stick as well, and I don't think that's deserved. I mean, he's got a very weak defence in front of him.
I always say defenders is only as good as his a goalkeeper is only as good as his defenders. You're right. He's got an absolute shit defence in front of him at the moment. But then saying that, we've just sat here and we've just praised Tyler Blackett. Johnny Evans, for me, has not been anywhere near to his standard of previous seasons this season. Raphael, I thought was really good on Sunday. And giving that penalty away that shouldn't have been a bloody penalty really detracted from his performance. Rojo, I didn't think he particularly had a very good second half. First half he was fine, but then no one really had a good second half. So you know.
Well, let's move on from the defensive chatter and move on to the forward chatter. Di Maria, Falcao, Van Persie, Rooney, see them all in one team. Shaun, was it the right move? Should Mata have started?
Yes,
Who for?
Mata should have played instead of Van Persie. I think going on form going into the game, Mata has had a better start to the season. He looks fitter than Van Persie. Okay, I know it's slightly two different positions, playing the number 10 role, playing as a striker. Before the game, when asked about the change, Van Gaal came out and he said, I'm not happy with Rooney playing as a 9. I'm not happy with Mata playing in midfield. Rooney says he can play as a 10, so now we'll see. So basically that to me is, I don't want Rooney playing up front, so he's going to play in the number 10 role. Mata's going to basically be benched because Van Gaal said on Friday, I believe it was Friday, his press conference,
Yeah, Rooney's untouchable.
Is pretty much, undroppable. So I feel really, really sorry for Mata. He's had a brilliant start to the season. All right, he's not necessarily in the game for the 90 minutes, but what he can do in those 90 minutes is a damn sight more than what Van Persie's been doing just recently.
Yeah. No, I've got to agree.
Perhaps the answer could be to play Rooney and Mata behind Falcao or Van Persie.
That's a good shout. And then you could stick, maybe Di Maria could then have the option of a flank more and Herrera could put in. Anyway, we could go back to De Gea. Sockbox says De Gea has had 3 keeping coaches in 14 months and no defence in front of him for 5 games, cutting some slack. Hello to Artage, who says De Gea is suffering because of our poor defence. Swagat is bringing back the chat about Vidal or Strootman, someone to guard that midfield. Justin says Blind was great. He was all over the pitch and made himself available to defenders to break out. Hello as well to Hartage. Also says about Di Maria. He probably isn't used to taking the amount of knocks in the games that the Premier League dishes out. It is more physical, isn't it, Shaun? Premier League to La Liga.
Yeah, absolutely. I when he joined, I was a bit sort of apprehensive that maybe it's a trait of the Spanish league that you get touched, you go down, and I was a bit sort of apprehensive. I was hoping that he wouldn't do that, and to his credit, he doesn't. There's sort of a couple of challenges that has gone in on him, and he could have quite easily have gone over, and he didn't, carried on. But yeah, certainly the Premier League is a lot more physical than pretty much any league in Europe.
Hello to Evan, who says, yes, we should have. See the game out at 3-1 with 30 minutes to go in terms of bringing on Darren Fletcher against Leicester instead of Adnan Januzaj. There we go. Harte says, cut Rooney some slack. Soccerbox says, United will suffer with Rooney untouchable thing. He's been awful all season so far. Hello to Justin, who says Van Persie is world class when fit, but he's not fully fit now. Rooney is fit, he's captain, and he's world class. Mata is the sort of player who will keep the ball in rotation long enough in midfield for defences to set. Schoolaz says that. And hello to Swagat, who says, yep, Klassenberg messed us up, but United should have shown more character against Leicester. So much to talk about tonight, Shaun. Oh.
Well, with this that we should have shown this more character. Yeah, I agree. We should have been able to hold on. But again, it goes back to the confidence thing from last season. We would, and the beginning of this season, we'd concede a goal, and we just, oh my goodness, what the hell do we do now? And we'd freeze, and we did. Was it 2 goals in 3 minutes they scored? So it was, back to 3-3, and it was like, now what the hell do we do? It was almost as if, United of old, of Fergie period, or time in charge, would have been attack, and it was like we tried to do that, but the defenders were on the halfway line, and but the Rafael and Rojo were too far advanced up the pitch for us to be doing that. It just left Tyler Blackett and Chris Smalling absolutely exposed at the back. De Gea, again, go back to the defender. I thought De Gea sort of looked in no man's land for a couple of the balls. The Cambiasso goal to make it 3-3, he died for that. He wasn't going to stop that at all. Going through the crowd of people, The problem with that goal was Rooney giving the ball to them in the build-up.
And then going ballistic at them afterwards because he didn't. The defenders didn't stop it. I just thought that was a little bit hypocritical. To be honest, my words. He should have been. Yeah. Anyway, let's just quickly end the Leicester bit because, to be honest, I think we could all rant for ages. We could all go on about it, but you know what? There are other things to talk about, and we've got to move on. Let's quickly. We had a bit of fun on Twitter, Shaun, as we like to do. You know that. I know that. And I want you to think for me. We put on Twitter one word to sum up the first 60 minutes against Leicester and one word to sum up the last 30. Okay, so think now. We'll come back to you for yours in a minute. If you've got one word for the first 60, one word for the last 30, where we basically collapsed, at the United View, tweet us or post them in the comment box there. Let's go through a few, shall we? Hello to Matt Scott, which says way, and then the F word. Hello to Mark, who just says tragic. Hello to Adele, who says first 60 cruising, last 30 shambolic. Hello to Mohammed, who says comfortable and disastrous. Hello to Hassan, who says downhill. Hello to Frosty, who says magnificent for the first, abysmal for the last. Liam Wood, probably with the best two words, says okay, how? Hello to Dan, who says promising and then Moyes-like. Hello to Karam, who says sensational explosion. Hearted, another one of my favourites here, says champions and championship. Love that one. Hello to Mark Goldbridge as well, who's soccer box, I believe. Says progress, regress. Yep. And Chris says first 60 Louis, last 30 Moyes. And let's do one more here. MUFC Football says not bad, bad. That's more or less right, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Let's have a look in the comment box quickly, just see if there's anyone who who's put anything in. Feel free to just post in the comment box. They might not have caught up, so we'll come back to them in a minute. Shaun, first 60. What would your word be?
Controlling.
What about your last 30?
I can't say it. Let's have some exclamation marks and stars. It was shit, wasn't it?
Wait a second. Before you say anything, Wayne Rooney's just posted something up on Facebook, which will might interest you. Rooney says there seems to be a lot of people who have written us off because of Sunday's result, but I don't see it that way at all. When I look around our dressing room and see the quality we have and the manager's unbelievable attention to detail, I have no doubts this team will be successful.
Okay.
Reaction to that?
Words are cheap. Let's see on the pitch. Come on. Sunday. Yeah, all right. People are too quick to write us off. People were too quick the previous week to say that we were back and that we were going to cruise it after that 4-0 win over QPR. But now Sunday, we've lost to Leicester, another promoted side, and now we're going to be fighting relegation? What? All right, that's a step too far, but LVG out hashtags. What the hell is that all about? Fickle, plastic, whatever you want to call them. We don't need that. That's not what we need. Rooney, just do your talking on the pitch, mate. Not shouting at them, because that was out of order. Just get on, play the ball, play the game. When someone needs to be spoken to, speak to them in the sort of way that you want to be spoken to yourself. Because I don't believe that how he treated those defenders after the third goal was acceptable at all, captain or not.
And some more breaking news coming out of Old Trafford. Johnny Evans is out for a month with an ankle injury. Reaction to that?
I say good, but it's not good because we've got such a lack of defenders. But
that moves us on really nicely to our next point, because Evans out, Jones out, Smalling just back. Shaw, by the way, picked up a knock in the warm-up, we believe, before a little hamstring knock before the game against Leicester, which is why he didn't play a part. And actually, if you watch it as well, a good point is that he never went to warm up at all, and that's not like a player to do that. Even the goalkeeper goes and has a little warm up. Wasn't even on the pitch at half time. Shaw will be fit for West Ham. I mean, there's only one defence we can play, really, isn't there? We've got to play Raphael, Smalling, Rojo, and Shaw. It's all we can do.
Well, I know Van Gaal's come out and has said that Shaw will be fit and will play Saturday, sorry. But now, see, in my mind, if there's a doubt over it, what have we got to back Shaw up at left back if he picks up an injury during the game? Nothing. Is even Ashley Young's out injured, and that is really pushing it. To have Ashley Young come on as a left wing back, that is really pushing it. So, I think I might be inclined to go with a back four of Raphael, Smalling, Blind, and Rojo. Just because of what you've just said about Shaw having a slight niggle. Before you said that, I would have gone with what you said. But I think we could. Who are we playing? West Ham? Jesus. And they just had that win over Liverpool as well.
And Sacco looks unbelievable, didn't he? So I'm a little bit shocked because West Ham today have let Ravel Morrison go out on loan to Cardiff.
Yeah, and they're getting pummeled in the cup tonight, aren't they, Cardiff?
Are they?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but no, I thought that was a bit strange. But I don't know. I don't know where we go. I think maybe now Louis van Gaal's regretting sending Michael Keane out on loan.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. But then, looking at our defensive options at the time, on the 1st of September, we knew that Evans was due back. Jones was obviously fit. Shaw was practically back. We had Rojo coming in. Raphael almost back. Valencia. Where's Valencia disappeared to all of a sudden?
Well, I think he was on the bench, wasn't he? Last match. I think he's fit though.
But then that doesn't really help because it's either him or Raphael. And although I think Raphael's done a gig out at left back in the past, so perhaps that is an option. But again, it just weakens us so much. We'd have so many players out of position.
I've got to say, I don't want Blind centre back. I mean, it's all right saying it, but for me, to be honest, he spent the majority of his time at Ajax and with the Dutch squad in at left back, and I want him to really mould as that central defensive midfielder, and he needs time there. I mean, he needs to really take some position. So I don't.
Apparently, Fellaini's back and he's ready to help the defensive crisis. I read that last night. Fellaini is back and he is ready to slot into centre back. I don't know
what's he gonna do. What's he gonna do? He's like a clown on stilts. Like, what is Fellaini going to do to help our defence? He is the most useless footballer I've ever watched in my life. Do you know what? The one good game he had was when we stuck him up front against Olympiacos, and all we done was aim balls to his massive afro. Yeah, and he just stood in a corner flag. What's he going to do in defence? Do you know what? Actually, I'm going to put that out on Twitter now. Fellaini centre back or Fellaini on the bench. Let's see what people say. I mean, I'd rather play Tom Thorpe there, to be honest.
Yeah, right, absolutely. I wouldn't mind seeing Tom promoted. He's a cracking little player in the under-21s.
Well, here we go. Right, I'll write the tweet as we talk, ready. Who would you rather play centre-back for Manchester? Sorry, this is going to be really boring. Manchester United. Fellaini or Titus Bramble? Who would you, Shaun?
Oh my goodness! Well,
the fact that you're even holding your head and thinking about it says a lot, doesn't it?
It's got to be Bramble, isn't it? Really. But let's go into the realms of it. Who, like you just said, who would you rather have, Fellaini or Tom Thorpe, come up from the under-21s? And also with Tom Thorpe, he's captain of the under-21s. We need a leader at back.
So that's very true. Sorry, Christian's just got in touch saying Reece James. He can do a job at right back or left back.
I know.
To be honest, we might even go back to the back three again to play Blind, Shaw, and Rojo in defence. It's just you don't know, do you, with Louis van Gaal? You just don't know. Anyway, let's move on from defence, shall we? We've spoken about that. Louis van Gaal, the only other thing I've got to say on him, we spoke about the Fletcher decision, the substitutions, the attacking decisions, the defensive decisions. The only other thing I wanted to talk about was his passion. him sitting on the bench. I'm someone who loves a manager standing up like Jose Mourinho and going absolutely ballistic. I don't know about you, Shaun. So I've asked Twitter, is it a problem that Louis van Gaal doesn't get passionate on the touchline and stays in his seat? Shaun, what do you reckon? Is it a problem? Do you really believe much in that?
Well, I think if we go back to the transfer window video that we've done, I actually said then that after the international break, I think we'll see a different Van Gaal, and he'll be up on the touchline because he'll have had more time to work with them. They'll have had more time to get his philosophy and his way of working. And up until then, he'd not had a lot of time, and perhaps he didn't feel comfortable giving him a bossing from the touchline. Well, he's proved me wrong. 2 games and he's just sat in his seat. Okay, against QPR, he didn't really have a reason to get out of his seat. The most exercise Ryan Giggs did on Sunday was chewing his gum. I've never seen anybody chew gum as quick as he does. Not even Berkey chewed gum as quick as him. I was disappointed that he stayed in his seat. But then at 3-3, yes, perhaps he should have been out of his 3-2. He should have been out of his seat. 3-3, definitely out of his seat. 4-3, and the way we just collapsed. I don't even think that him stood on the touchline would have made any difference.
Yeah.
Again, someone else that has to be vocal, other than the manager, is the captain. Now, if the captain is going to have a go at players because he made a mistake in the first place, then I don't want him talking either.
But then again, you know, that could be him being vocal. I mean, if I saw Louis van Gaal doing that on the touchline, I would be ecstatic. Absolutely ecstatic. I know Eamon Holmes put on Twitter as well that, I wouldn't want to be United fan in that dressing room because Louis van Gaal was going mental in there. But I want to see that on the touchline. You know, you want to see the fact. I don't know about you, but I was stood up shouting at the television and going absolutely mad and kicking sofas and going ridiculously stupid and nearly breaking the telly because that's my passion. You want to see the manager kicking bottles and grabbing hold of Wayne Rooney and putting him in a headlock and saying that's not a good thing to do, surely.
Yeah, I do, but yeah, I do want to see it. I do want to see some passion from him. At the moment, it's almost as if he sat there, and it's like, oh well. I'm sure that's not what's going through his head, and perhaps he is just a private person and wants to do it in private at the end of the game at half time or whenever. Just going back to Rooney when he had a go at Blackett and Smalling and the other defenders for not stopping the 3rd goal. It came from his mistake, as we said earlier on. Now, that to me was wrong, completely wrong, to stand there and have a go at those players. That would have, if someone had done that to me, I think I would have told him, fuck you then, and walked off. Because he made the mistake, and yet he's had a go at other players. He needs to have a look at himself first.
Well, hopefully, as I say, with results like this and the fact of what happened at Burnley and against Swansea, hopefully these players are actually looking at themselves because the manager, as you said, the manager's attention to detail is great, but at the end of the day, these players need to realise their little mistakes. Anyway, going back to Van Gaal about it being a problem staying in his seat, what do you reckon? I said retweet yes, favourite for no. What do you reckon? Did the majority of Man United fans think it was a problem?
Yes.
No. 85 favourites for no, 52 retweets for yes. So, majority of United fans say no, it's not a problem. Hello to @0wall says, of course there is a problem with it. Hello to Dean who says no, some managers just don't have that style. Hello to Heartage who's actually a great point this. He said that's like saying, is it a problem he wears a suit and doesn't chew on gum? Or that it is a problem he's not Sir Alex Ferguson? Hello to Mark, who says he's probably a raving lunatic on the training ground. Love that, wouldn't it, if he's like the Tasmanian devil on the training ground. Hello to Matt, who says, I don't mind if he doesn't. He never has, but I would like Giggsy to get up and shout a bit. I suppose so. And we'll leave the final word on that one to Wes, who says, as long as Louis van Gaal is given time to put his stamp on the club, turn things around and plays attractive football, I couldn't care less.
Now, see, interestingly, I had someone tweet me yesterday. I blocked them straight away. It was, we need Van Gaal out now. He has a worse record than Moyes. Look how that worked out. It's like, what? What are you even on about? You know, and he put in it that Van Gaal has even spent 120 million pound more than what Moyes did. And right, okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
Blocks.
one of those, isn't it? Yeah. Hello to Kevin Baker, who on the YouTube comments page. Feel free, you've been chatting all show. Thank you guys for watching and thank you for getting involved. He says on Fellaini, Company was initially a midfielder. We're not now saying that Fellaini could be the next Vincent Company, are we?
Well, Fellaini ain't won a treble either.
Neither's tight as Bramble. So.
Well, I really like the look of Ron Vlaar in the World Cup, and he's had a good start with Villa as well. I would have loved it.
Well, isn't his contract up at the end of the season?
I'm not sure. I know there was all the talk of Hummels, and there still is talk of Hummels, etc. But I just, you know, I know money isn't really an object, but it's just going to cost so much money. There are players in England. I think there's even a couple on free transfers at the moment. I can't remember their names. That could come in and just do a job that would be better than what we have.
Emil Heskey's one of them still available on a free, although I don't know if he can play defence. Arsenal.
It's got to be worth it if we're considering Fellaini in defence. Come on.
Yeah, Emil Heskey, why not? Hello to a heart age who also says Smalling has gone from being the next Rio to the next Samba. Well, I tell you what, the amount of money they paid for him, that Russian club, I love him. Anyway, right, before we go on to chat a little bit about West Ham, obviously had a great result against Liverpool at the weekend. Amazing for them. I would say it's great for us, but we didn't win our game, so I don't really care. Let's go through a few League Cup scores coming in right now. I believe the Scousers are being held by Middlesbrough at the moment. Sorry, I've got something in my throat. Being held by Middlesbrough 1-1 at the moment in that game, and their goal was a deflected effort. Arsenal 1, Southampton 2. Arsenal on the way out. Cardiff 0, Bournemouth 3. Derby 2, Reading 0. Leyton Orient 0, Sheffield United 1. MK Dons 2, our favourite club, and Bradford 0. Shrewsbury 1. You've never shouted that passionately this season. For the MK Dons result, Shrewsbury 1, Norwich 0. Norwich on their way out at the moment. Sunderland 1, Stoke 2. A full-time result, Swansea 3, Everton 0. And Fulham are about to reach a 2-1 win in the cup against Doncaster. That's the latest in the Capital One Cup. There we go. I just thought I'd let you all know while you're watching us and not catching up on the results. And Real Madrid, I believe, 1-5-1. I think.
We've got a show on MK Dons. They put us out, for goodness sake. They played so well, that, to be fair to them. I'm going with that. They deserve a bit of a cheer. They'll end up getting Chelsea or Liverpool or someone like that in the next round and get absolutely smashed them. And then the ABUs will be on our case again, and it'll be, they managed to beat MK Dons, but you couldn't.
Well, do you know what? They played better against us than anyone else. So there we go. Let's move on then, shall we, quickly? You've only got about 5 minutes left. West Ham United. Shaun, what should we expect at Old Trafford this Saturday?
West Ham are going to be full of confidence after beating Liverpool. What are we going to... I don't know how the hell we're going to approach it, to be quite honest. Are we going to have any confidence left there? Confidence that we beat, obviously, QPR at home 4-0. I think the fans are going to be up again Saturday. I think we'll have a good atmosphere. Do you want a team prediction?
Go on then, go for it.
Tough, you can't have one. I can't pick one. I haven't got enough players to pick from. Right, yeah, De Gea in goal. Raphael, I'm going to ignore that you said Shaw had a niggle. Raphael, Rojo, Smalling, Shaw, Blind, Herrera, Di Maria, Mata, Rooney, and Falcao.
Okay, so you want RVP drops.
Falcao up top with Mata and Rooney behind him.
Right, okay, so you're going to go with a 2-1 instead of a 1-2.
Yes.
Okay, right, there we go. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff Saturday as well, by the way. Looking at it, I think they're going very strong at the moment. That Sacco's looking really good, isn't he? And with Alex Song in there, they're really, really well assured.
Valencia as well, blimey.
Yeah, he is a very, very fast footballer, isn't he? He's got a lot of pace about him.
Well, during the World Cup, I asked if we could swap that Valencia for our Valencia, and everybody laughed at me.
Yeah,
Looks
no,
like the choice I have at the moment.
it is a really difficult one. I mean, I'm going to go with my starting lineup: De Gea and Gaal, as you said. I'll go with. I don't know if you might drop Rafael and go with Valencia. So I'm going to say Valencia, Rojo, Smalling, Shaw. Then the midfield three, obviously, of Di Maria, Blind, and Herrera, with again Mata in behind Rooney and Falcao. I just think there's no reason why you would keep Mata out of the team for Van Persie at the moment. There's no logic in it for me, unless Robin Van Persie has some sort of hacking evidence, or he's been on Louis Van Gaal's iCloud and we don't know about it. But there we go. We just don't know that. We can't clarify it. So before we go off air, if you want to discuss anything we haven't with us, at the United View, tweet us or just post something in the YouTube comments box to the side there. We've covered the defence, the attack. We've spoken about Van Gaal, spoken about West Ham as well. What else do you want us to talk about? Anything? Let us know quickly and we'll try and discuss it before we go off air. I saw a comment a minute ago, Shaun, saying, what about when Carrick gets back? How about him as a ball-playing centre-back of a back three?
Yeah, I've seen that a little bit as well, and he's played centre-back as well. So I think I'd prefer Carrick in there ahead of Fellaini, ahead of Evans, even, to be quite honest.
I mean, a back three of Jones, Carrick, Rojo doesn't sound too bad, does it?
No. Would you go back to the 3-5-2?
Not really, but I mean, it depends how you want to play it. Will Carrick get in the team currently with the midfield three as it is? And personally, I'd like to play Carrick.
It's a tough one. He's 33 years old now, isn't he? So you know he's coming to the end of his career. If we're playing a high line and we keep being caught out with these long balls in behind us. Yeah. Is he? But then again, saying that, we had Smalling and Blackett there the other day, and they couldn't keep up either, and they're a lot younger.
I've got to say hello to Kevin, who's been in touch again, who makes a really good point here. Do you know the Diamond is playing at the moment with obviously Blind, Herrera, Di Maria, and then obviously Rooney or Mata. That's the same sort of formation Liverpool played against West Ham on Saturday. He said West Ham sat on Gerrard in the Diamond. Louis Van Gaal needs to recognise if this is happening, prepared to change it. Completely missed this at the weekend. And again, to be fair, David Nugent sat on Daley Blind for the first 20 minutes, if you remember, against Leicester. So is there a way around this little Diamond thing where the players can find space, or would you change it for West Ham, or would you keep it more the same?
It's interesting you saying about Blind being kept an eye on. I believe Cambiasso was keeping his eye on Rooney at the tip of the Diamond as well. So it just took us out completely in the middle. I think if Mata had been playing the role Rooney was playing, he would have had more joy getting the space, or at least finding the space. I just think he's he's got a better agility, and I think he's better with the ball at his feet to dribble. I mean, I'm not. You can't slag Rooney off too much, because he's not far from beating the highest goal record for England and United. He's captain of England and United. He's had a good career at United, but I just don't think he's the player he was 2 or 3 seasons ago. And I don't think he's the best option that we have as number 10. I don't believe he's the best option we have as a striker either. I wouldn't mind seeing him drop into midfield.
What, as one of the three in there with Di Maria, Herrera, or Blind, or?
Well, I wouldn't mind seeing Rooney play where Di Maria's been playing, and Di Maria playing up top.
Right.
Or playing more of an attacking role.
To be honest, I thought Di Maria, I'm shocked at how good his defensive play actually is. We came on here, didn't we, and say that everyone's kind of turning around saying he couldn't play the wing-back role because he has got no defence about him. But he has, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's again, it's like Falcao with his crossing. We didn't know we could do it, and we didn't necessarily know how good Di Maria was at defending either.
Sorry, carry on.
I don't know. Again, with the comparison of the two leagues, the Premier League and La Liga, it's would he have necessarily had to do as much defending in La Liga as he has to in the Premier League?
Yeah, that is a difficult one. And talking about defending, hello to Christian, who sent us a simple message of centre back question mark dot 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 dot. For everyone watching now, for you guys who are on the YouTube comment box, for you guys who are on Twitter, at the United View is our Twitter name. You can see it in the thing just below us. You have the choice of signing one centre back, any centre back in the world right now. Who would it be? Type their name, send them to us. Let us know now. Shaun, is it in January a must to buy a centre back?
Apparently, you'd believe so. My opinion would be that if we could just get a back four settled that play, say on Saturday we go with Rafa, Smalling, Rojo, and Shaw. So we go with those four. They have a good game. We start with them the following week. We start with them the following week. We start with them the following, and they get a good 10 or 15 games behind them. It'll be amazing how much better they look. But we just keep chopping and changing the bloody team all the time. The change on Sunday with Falcao coming in for Mata, I can understand it. Falcao needs to get the playing time, but it would have been so nice to have gone out with the same team. We haven't had the same team start a game since before Moyes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no...
And it's injury prone, isn't it? We've got so many injury prone players as well. I mean, Phil Jones, he's got the world on his shoulders, the next big England defender. Definitely. But he just keeps picking up these little niggles, which means he's playing for a month and then he's out for a month, and it's just not helping him, is it?
No, not at all. I mean, again, like we said in previous shows, last season a lot of these players went backwards in their development. Smalling and Jones are two of them, and they really need to work hard on getting back to where they were before they can even think about improving. I mean, the next big England defender. I seen something. I can't remember if it was yesterday or today, that Roy Hodgson wants to fast track Tyler Blackett into the England squad. I don't disagree, but that's an awful lot of pressure to put on his young shoulders.
Yeah.
Perhaps Fergie coming out and saying, Chris Smalling, you will be the next Rio Ferdinand. Perhaps that was too much.
Yeah.
Perhaps coming out saying you're going to be a future England captain and a great defender for England. Perhaps that was too much for Phil Jones. They're only young guys.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, and we're not looking forward to January, but it's just an interesting debate. So we're asking you, if you're given the choice of signing one centre back in the world right now, who would it be? Hello to Soccerbox, who says Vidic. Moyes' biggest mistake was forcing Vidic out, top centre back and leader and captain that we miss. Shaun, do you think he is a missing piece in the jigsaw, Nemanja Vidic, or do you think it was the right time?
This is difficult again. If we'd have had a good start to this season, we wouldn't even be talking about it.
Yeah.
Vidic, I think it was the right time. He's not the player he was 2 or 3 seasons ago. He needs to have...
But then he did have injuries. That's always a massive argument. He did have those couple of injuries over the past 3 years, which really did... It's a never... You can't be right or wrong, can you, about decisions like that?
Then we've got the same argument with Jones and Smalling. We're just saying that they're too injury prone to be playing.
Yeah.
But then Vidic would be too injury prone as well. I believe that he didn't have the pace anymore. Players could skin him, no problem. He wouldn't play every game. I don't believe he would have it in him to play every game. He probably would say, I'll play every game, boss, but I don't believe he'd have it in him to do it to a high enough level every game. You know, we don't have to rotate the team as such because we're only playing once a week. So I just want to see a settled starting 11, to be quite honest.
Well, hello to Shazer, who says PK. Hello to Swine, who also says Gerard PK. Hello to Daryl, who says Varney. Danny says, hate to say this, but Company, best centre-back in the world right now. Hello to James, who says, won't get PK, only chance is really Vlar, or if Dortmund get bumped out of Europe, Hummels. And MUFC Football also says, Hummels, best centre-back in the world, a rock at the back, and he has a good head on him as well. Hartedge, Scoulaz, Kevin, all saying that Vidic is also not having a great season so far for Inter. So possibly, we're right, it was the right time for him to leave. But Shaun, you're Louis van Gaal. You're also Ed Woodward. You're like that massive sculpture-like United god, which we currently don't have. You get to pick one defender in the world to buy right now. Money doesn't mean a thing. Who would you go for?
I don't think Company's too far off the mark. He is a leader at the back.
Obviously, that's an unrealistic one because I don't think he would come to us, and I don't think City would ever sell him for anything less than like 150 million to us either. But the way he played against Chelsea, he has to be the best defender in Europe right now.
You go back to a young Vidic of 4 or 5 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Company is one of the best. Again, a few weeks ago I said on this show I don't care about any other teams. I don't watch them. You can't help but notice what Vincent Company does during the game.
Yeah.
He is one of the best. Hummels again. It's always the same names come up over and over, and you've got to think to yourself, well, is that because they're the best at what they do, or is it because everybody's jumping on bandwagon? Oh, he said
he's just been so good for a period of time that you can't not see it and can't not see how good he is. I mean, we sold him Tevez, or let Tevez go to him.
Well, we didn't have much choice, did we? Really?
No, we didn't. But someone put a word in.
Well, Fergie didn't want to pay them up.
Yeah, that before. Anyway, Christian says we're on Vlar. And Justin says, have to agree that Company with a C would look very good in red. I'll tell you what, any Company for that back four would look good at the moment in a C.
I'll tell you what, Ed Woodward is brilliant at signing companies.
Well, Shaun, I was just about to come out and say that your best line today has been that Falcao's crossing made Ashley Young look like a Gaal, but I think that you've just maxed it out. Shaun's quote of the day, Ed Woodward is good at signing companies. Oh, you just don't get a quiet minute with this guy on the show, do you, at all? Well, after every show so far, though, Shaun, to be fair, you have been tweeted a quote, haven't you? From people on Twitter, always tweeting about the stuff you say. So I think that one's coming your way from the @UnitedView account this evening. That's how much we enjoyed that one. Shaun, thank you for coming on once again. Just a quick note. We'll say bye to Shaun properly in just a moment. Just a quick note. Obviously, the United View was made for Sunday evenings. We want to go live on Sunday evenings at about 9 or 10 o'clock. Over the last couple of weeks, I've been on holiday and had very busy weekends, but I will be back hosting the United View. Hopefully with Shaun here as well. Hopefully Tom and a guest this Sunday, either be 9 or 10 o'clock. We'll let you know. Hopefully by the end of the week, we'll also have some great new graphics coming in as well to count down the hour before we go live. And hopefully you'll be there to join us as well on the chat. And there's a cool few things that we're actually going to put in progress before December, so hopefully you stick with us. Thank you for all communicating in that box. We have got the best fans in the world. You always get involved and you always post in that box, so thank you for your views as well. It's been another busy night, Shaun.
Yeah, it's been fun. Enjoy it.
And it has been really fun. So guys, thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Shaun, thank you for coming on.
No problem at all. Looking forward to Sunday already.
Shaun MUFC20.
Pardon?
I said Shaun MUFC20. Go give him a follow now.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Let's hope that we come back Sunday night, 3 points, bag full of goals. Go on, you Reds. Let's keep marching.
Come on, United. Let's do it. Thank you, Shaun. Thank you guys for watching at the United View. We'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Bye.
See ya.